Hey guys, what's up? I'm your girl Britt, don't quit. Willpower wellness coach, 10-year female M.B.A entrepreneur, and built my first $1 million brand in the healthcare industry without even being that doctor. Guys, one thing I'll tell you is that I failed a lot. So a lot of you guys are new to my page, new followers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I wanted to take this time to get to know a little bit about your girl Britt and for me to answer all these questions that you've sent to me. So I'm gonna enjoy getting to know you guys. So here's a little bit about your girl that you may not know. All right, the first question we got is, Britt, tell me a little bit about your business. All right, so what people don't know is when I started my business, right? It was in 2015. I had lost my previous business in the healthcare industry, went horrible. I was at rock bottom and I had no choice but to move forward. So I moved to Texas. I decided to build my healthcare business here. And one thing I'll tell you is that it wasn't easy. Your girl failed a lot. I got into food addiction. I started using food to cope with my depression and feeling like I wasn't good enough. And it wasn't until, that time I was like, you know what, the bridge is burnt. Either we can move forward, there's no way going back, right? So I came here in Texas in 2015 and built my brand what it is today, and I literally did it off my back. That consists of going to door to door, marketing my brand myself. And like I said, I used to be over 300 pounds. I'm now a size 4 from a size 16, so it's a little bit about me. All right, the first question we got is, Britt, tell me a little bit about your business. All right, so what people don't know is when I started my business, right? It was in 2015. I had lost my previous business in the healthcare industry, went horrible. I was at rock bottom and I had no choice but to move forward. So I moved to Texas. I decided to build my healthcare business here. And one thing I'll tell you is that it wasn't easy. Your girl failed a lot. I got into food addiction. I started using food to cope with my depression and feeling like I wasn't good enough. And it wasn't until, that time I was like, you know what, the bridge is burnt. Either we can move forward, there's no way going back, right? So I came here in Texas in 2015 and built my brand what it is today, and I literally did it off my back. That consists of going to door marketing my brand myself. And like I said, I used to be over 300 pounds. I'm now a size 4 from a size 16, so it's a little bit about me. All right, and second question, what advice would I give someone starting a business? I would encourage you guys to go for it. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a lot of turbulence. It's gonna be a lot of 24-hour days, but it's so worth it. So you may say, Britt, what if I don't know what business to get into? What if I don't know what business I wanna do, but I know I wanna work for myself? I would encourage you to do a business that you're passionate for, something that you would do if money wasn't an option, right? How many of us are at jobs that we hate? Sitting there at that 9 to 5, not really living our best life, right? And not really living our full potential. So I would encourage you to do something that gets you excited and motivated and wants you to keep going, right? But one thing I'm gonna tell you, as an entrepreneur, you have to have a lot of grit, a lot of tenacity, because you're gonna hear no all the time. And I know that's something you guys don't wanna hear, but you've gotta be able to don't quit, having the ability to run through that obstacle and fight your way through it. So that was definitely a good question. Thanks for asking that. The next question is, what would I give to someone who, the biggest advice for new entrepreneurs, right? I always say 3 things that are very, very important. 1, get your paperwork right. Y'all, so many times new entrepreneurs, the small businesses, start the business without really filing the paperwork, right? It's so important that you file the paperwork. If it's an S Corp, if it's an LLC, if it's a C Corp, you wanna make sure you file that well with the government so that you can get the tax breaks for the vacations and the team outings and things like that, right? And also you'll be able to write off a lot of things. What people don't know is when you're an entrepreneur, new business, you could write off houses and cars, anything that business has to do with that business. So I would say get your paperwork right. 2 is get a good CPA. Y'all, your girl Britt has been bruised so many times, and I have so many colleagues that I've seen where they have took their money and CPAs have rewritten money from their account and all that kind of good stuff. So it's important that up front you get a good CPA. And I know it's hard because you're like, Britt, I can barely pay the bills. But it's so critical because that person's gonna be responsible for your taxes with the government and reporting all that for the government from your business for you. So some questions to ask about a good CPA is, hey, what are some references? Do you have a license in the state where my business resides, right? So I know it's hard, but if you have to start the business without it, I get it. But as soon as you get some profits, you need to reinvest that into a CPA. And 3, I would say, be your biggest marketer. Y'all, when I was marketing my business, if you're a new business and you're afraid to market your brand, you're not gonna make it. I'm gonna just be honest. You gotta put yourself out there, right? When I started my business, I was the only marketer because unfortunately I didn't have capital and things like that to help me, right? I had to hit the streets, going door to door, trying to get people to buy my product. So when you think about kind of a business you want to go into, you want to make sure it's a service industry, a service business that can meet people's needs. I tell people all the time, there's so many governmental contracts out there that the government is waiting for businesses to start, right? And sometimes you can start that business and say, hey, you know what? I lost my passion for that business. Let me pivot to something else. But when you start a business, that income, that cash flow can be used to do other things with. So that's another important point. But I always tell people that you cannot be an entrepreneur if you're fearful. No, honey, you have to look fear in the eye and know that you may feel it, but it doesn't have to stop you from going forward. There's so many things in my life that I'm afraid of, right? But that doesn't mean it's gonna stop me from making that first step, okay? So when you're starting that business, you have to have a lot of tenacity, a lot of grit. You're gonna hear no all the time, but having the ability to keep going. Because one day my yes came that was able to break through my business and were able to give me the referrals, so it is the $1 million brand it is today. I hope these quick tips helps. Oh, wait, someone just pinged me. Last question, last but not least. Britt, do you think losing weight really helped you on your journey? Oh my gosh, y'all, your girl is really passionate about this because when I lost my business, I became a food addict, which means I had an unhealthy relationship with food. I used food to cope. If it was a good day, if it was a bad day, I used food as my friend, and that hurt my business. I really did myself a disservice because I wasn't able to give my business my full self. I was eating a large pizza, biscuits every night, and I was crashing, wondering why I had no energy. And it was because I wasn't fueling my body. If you look at many successful people, right, on television, in the industry or whatever, they all have a really good diet, a really good workout plan. And not just to look good, right? We all know we all want to look good, but a lot of it is for your mindset because you got to be fueling your mind with the good things that it needs to survive so that you can be the best employee, so you can be the best, leader or entrepreneur or business owner, right? You want to show up always as your best version of yourself. I hope this little tips helped you get to know me. Like I said, I'm just a simple girl that had a dream that went from a size 16 to a size 4 with using my willpower, having the ability to never give up, having a whole lot of discipline, and using my mantra, Britt, don't quit. So take this time to find your mantra. I hope this helped. Until next time. Check out my website at www.brittdon'tquitmotivation.com. Let's go.